Hello and welcome to today's video. Today I am excited to bring you a video about skincare mostly. This is a video collab with Day from Day Explains It All. I believe her channel linked in the cards and described below. Day approached me to do a little collab video about kind of like a get unready with us and talking about like what kind of like makeup removing routine, skincare routine that we use on a nightly basis. Now I am doing this in the middle of the day because I need the sunlight to film, so it feels a little bit odd, but I try to do some ingredient stuff, so hopefully this is not too boring. I'm going to try to do this in the living room and not in the bathroom again, so this may be a little awkward, but bear with me and let's go through the steps that I take in order to get unready every night. Before I jump into the actual products, I do want to say that I am not a dermatologist, not a doctor of any sort, but I have tried to do a little bit of research here and there. I will link my main source of research because I'm lazy. I go to a channel called HotandFlashy and she does a lot of actual research with like science journal articles and things like that. And so I will leave her playlist to, if I can link her playlist to her ingredient series, I think that one is the most helpful. And that's where I kind of pulled the most of my information when I go looking for her stuff. I pull it from there, so I'll try to link her playlist below. If not, I'll just link her channel. But I may have a little bit more of a complicated routine than you. I may have a less complicated routine. I'm really curious to know, so in the comments be sure to let me know if my routine, do you think it's too complicated? Do you think it's not complicated enough? Make sure you let me know. I think this kind of stuff is so personal but also so interesting. So the first thing I do is I cleanse my face, obviously, and I have a 3-step cleansing process. Right now I'm trying to finish off a Pond's cleansing balm and this is what it looks like, but I'm actually not quite as crazy for this product. It was not bad. It definitely removes product fairly good, especially compared to the last one that I had, which was a First Aid Beauty coconut melting kind of thing. It had a pump. It was awful, but I have to say, like, honestly, a lot of times I just reach for baby oil and it works just as well. So let me get to applying this and rubbing my makeup off, which is kind of sad because I'm kind of feeling this highlight today, but I'm gonna remove it and film this video like I'm supposed to. So the coconut like cleansing melters are these kind of solid cleansers. If you warm them up in your hands, they really do a pretty decent job of removing your makeup. So I just massage this all over my face. And then in the past, I have really made some mistakes in my cleansing routine of, I sometimes have over cleansed because I struggle in the past, especially when I was trying out other cleansers. I struggled in the past with like not being able to remove my makeup effectively, and so therefore I had to like cleanse like 4 or more times and it would irritate the mess out of my skin. So now I have two different like rags, I would call this. This is one of those like microfiber cleansing cloths kind of thing, and this is something I use. I would typically splash my face a little bit more before like going in with this, but since I'm not in my sink, I made sure to wet this really good. And after I rub in either a baby oil or whatever kind of cleansing balm that I'm using, I go ahead and try to wipe it off with this. This is nice because it's kind of, it's stained, so don't judge me, but it is clean. It is kind of softer than your regular like rag, like your facial rag, like I don't know, this is what I call a rag, and or washcloth. And in the past, I've only used a washcloth, and I think sometimes that can be a little bit too abrasive. So this has been a nice little thing to have in like the first part of my makeup like cleansing routine. Okay, next up I use another cleanser, which is a salicylic acid wash. This is my favorite one from CeraVe. It's their SA cleanser. And for me, this is one that I'm gonna use a bottle that has stickers all over it because it's a little older, but I love this cleanser. I warm it up, like get a little water typically, and rub it all over my face, really like try to lather it up. It doesn't really lather up, but I do try to like work it into my skin as much as I can, and then I will kind of let it sit there for a couple minutes and just soak in, because salicylic acid is actually one of the few ingredients, so science and all, salicylic acid is one of the few ingredients that can penetrate the top layer of your skin and kind of go a little bit deeper and cleanse a little bit deeper. Some of the molecules that you'll see in skincare, like a lot of times products will make claims that they do certain things, but sometimes molecules can be too big to actually do whatever they're claiming to do. really effectively, but salicylic acid is actually one that does cleanse your pores actually a little bit more, or cleanse your skin a little bit more deeply. So I definitely let that sit as long as I can. I'm not going to do that today because I'm filming this and I don't want you to just watch me sit here for a couple minutes. But then I go through with a rag and I try to make sure again that I'm gentle. By this point, most of my makeup has been removed, so I don't worry too often about like scrubbing, but I do kind of make sure that if I miss any area of my skin, that I try to get it with that. And so the last thing I do is another cleanser. This is a Vanicream bar. Sometimes a little bit, like disclosure here, sometimes if I feel like I've cleansed my skin really good, I would skip this step, but this is a really good product that was recommended by my dermatologist. And this one it's a medicated facial or cleansing bar, and I use this to like, I think it targets more like fungi and stuff that lives on the skin, so which can also occasionally cause acne. And so I will use just the lightest bit of this all around my skin, and I haven't used a setting spray since again I'm not at my sink to make sure my skin is nice and like wet when I apply these things. But I will massage this all around my skin. Also, I try to let this sit for like a minute or two before I wash it off, but today we're gonna shorten it just a little bit and then go ahead and wipe it off. Okay, by this point, my skin is very clean and nice, but I do want to mention another product that I use about once a week. I try to exfoliate my skin once a week. And when I do that, my favorite exfoliating product that I've tried is from The Ordinary. It's an AHA 30%, BHA 2% peeling solution. It is intense, so if you've never used something like this, you need to make sure that you don't have like any irritation on your skin or anything, because if you put it over a piece of like a part of your skin that's already irritated, it tingles and it will burn. But this is a really good chemical exfoliator and it's actually pretty affordable. So as you can see, I've used quite a bit of mine. I really enjoy it. It does like look red on your skin, so it may be a little scary the first time that you're using it, but in my opinion, I prefer chemical exfoliators to physical ones all day, and I think they do really well. You don't want to over exfoliate your skin, so be careful. Again, on days where I'm using that product, I don't tend to like deeply wash my face. Like I definitely will skip the Vanicream bar because again, I don't want to like scrub at my face too much and then use that peeling solution because it can be a little too much. Another thing that I do when I use this peeling solution is I will skip the next I will skip a product that I will talk about later on that's kind of a little bit more chemically like potent and can also irritate your skin. Okay, now that we are cleansed, let's go into the moisturizing part of my routine. And I usually always start out with Mario Badescu skincare spray, and mine, I will say that I don't think this spray does anything for you skincare wise, really. Like it may have a little bit of moisturizing ingredients in there, but it doesn't really do anything drastic, like clinically proven to your skin. I just happen to enjoy that product and I get it on sale when I can because I like to apply my skincare to wet skin. I think it absorbs and spreads better. So my first product that I put on at night is this Curology. This is a prescription service that I have fallen absolutely head over heels in love for. You go on, you take a little skincare quiz, you submit photos of your skin, and they assign you to a dermatologist. And I don't know if it's accessible to anybody outside of the US, but in the US, I think it's accessible for most people. So my prescription or my skincare goals were like anti-aging, I'm older, I have sun damage, and wrinkles, they're real. So that plus skin firmness and then pore size, I think were the three like main goals that I gave my dermatologist. And I've talked so long that my facial spray is starting to dry off. So anyways, let me respray my face. So I will do about a pump of this, and then over my wet skin, I will kind of put it in. Now, it's recommended that you use 2 pumps, but I tend to only use like 1, maybe 1.5 pumps to cover my face. So this bottle is supposed to last me 2 months, and it lasts longer if I want it to. So if you're someone who, I think it's that bottle, it's about $20 a month on average. So I think it's totally worth it. If you haven't tried them out or checked them out before, you should. So I always put my Curology on first because it has retin-A in it, and it's the most potent thing that I want in my skincare ingredients. It's the most like effective anti-aging ingredient out there. So that is tretinoin. It also has, mine also has azelaic acid in it and niacinamide. Niacinamide is a, let me double check myself, it's an antioxidant. And antioxidants help protect your skin from free radicals, and they also do some other beneficial things. Like I think niacinamide has it's proven in like clinical studies to like help with pore size and things like that. So I am crazy about niacinamide. I try to make sure I get that in as much as I can. But let's go into the other products that I use. Another antioxidant that I love this product. I am typically not without this product unless I'm waiting on a shipment to get to me. This is from Timeless. This is the coenzyme Q10 serum, and let me show you. It looks a little funny. So you can see it's like yellow, and it is this beautiful, like really thick kind of serum, kind of comes out like that. And again, I rub it onto my skin. I would normally mix it with the other ones, but for now I'm just gonna put them on one at a time because they'll get spread out. So this particular serum is so nice because it has both coenzyme Q10 is actually a like legit really good antioxidant, but this one also has some peptides in it, and it has matrixyl 3000. Anytime you hear matrixyl, you should pretty much think peptides. And let me quickly explain what a peptide is if you don't know. Peptide is basically an amino acid, and amino acids help build proteins in your skin. And one of the most important proteins that we really want in our skincare is collagen, and collagen tends to stop producing it as well once you hit 30. And also environmental things can cause you to like break down the amount of like the collagen that your skin produces. So if you have a lot of sun damage and that kind of thing, your skin may not produce collagen as well as it once did. So another peptide that I like to introduce into my skincare at night is the matrixyl 6 from Timeless, and this one is a nice clear solution, has a little thinner consistency than that coenzyme Q10, gives your skincare such good slip, and I just love it. So another thing that I will say is I am getting a lot of this information again from HotandFlashy's channel, so I will, again, highly, if you are interested at all in this kind of ingredient talk, go check her channel out. It is so good. A quick honorable mention to a product that I'm almost done with that I ran out of like some of my Timeless products at the end of November, and I knew I was going to pick them up in December when I went home. So I ran out to H&M here in Sweden, sells the Ordinary products, and so I bought this at there. This is the Ordinary Buffet like serum, and this is a good, I wrote it down, this has peptides in it. This has some of those matrixyls in it, and then I think it has a little bit of a probiotic in it. I actually don't know if the probiotic does anything, but it does have a really nice slip to it. It was, I thought, very moisturizing and nice to use, but I don't think it's replaced my Timeless serums because I'm that seriously in love with them. So one more kind of peptide that I use, this is a little bit different than the other matrixyl peptides that I use. This is our DaLin. So there are like, I think I was watching HotandFlashy's channel earlier, and she was explaining there's different types of peptides. There are some that signal to your body to produce collagen or certain things, and there are some that like help carry things, and some that are neurotransmitters, and I believe this is like a neurotransmitter one. Basically, here's the short of it. Our DaLin is a solution. I've used this before and I thought it had a nice slip. At the time, I heard it was like topical Botox. And in looking for research on this, I don't think there's a ton of good research out there for this kind of product. But what the HotandFlashy did mention on her channel that she can't find a lot of good studies about this, but what she has found is that there is like one study that was done that they got people to use this kind of solution with, they had fixed like, they had a facial issue where they needed Botox to fix like a facial tick or something. And then they asked people to use an DaLin solution, not necessarily this one, in conjunction with the Botox, and it did extend the life of the Botox. So it's one of those things where it probably, we don't know for sure if there's enough research out there to support that this actually does anything, but at the end of the day, it is a moisturizing product in some way because it is a little bit occlusive and it sits on top of your skin and holds in all these other good things that we just put on. So it's kind of one of those, like, I'd rather just wear it even if it doesn't really do much, and just get the moisturizing product out of it, especially since the fact that this thing is not very expensive. So yeah, it's one of those, if the research ever does come out and it's worth it in the end, I'm kind of with HotandFlashy. She's kind of like, well, if one day they finally get all the research and it says that it works, then I've been doing it. If not, it's not a big deal. So, and then the last two products that I use in my skincare routine are, this one's newer to me. This is just a hydration kind of thing. It's got some hyaluronic acid in it. It's got some B5, some vitamin B of some sort, and then squalene, I'm not quite sure how you pronounce that. I'm not quite sure if these actually do anything, but I use them more so as moisturizing products because at the end of the day, they do kind of sit on top of everything else that I put on, and they hold in moisture. Now, I mean, honestly, one of your enemies of like your skin drying out at night is the fact that at some point in the night, all of that moisture and all of that product that you put on your face is going to evaporate off your skin. And so the more occlusive things that you can use on top to kind of hold it and seal all that in, that's what you need to be. I mean, that's what the best thing you can do to help hold in that moisture in your skin at night. So I do try hard to find some products that are not expensive. Neither of these products are typically expensive, but they're nice, kind of occlusive. They hold on that product on the outside, or they sit on top of all of that product that I want those really nice ingredients from, and they just kind of sit there and make sure that it stays on my skin as long as possible. And if something's gonna go first, it's gonna be those more superficial ones, and then I still have those nice like hydrating, like really the good active ingredients are still like the first things that I put on my skin. So after all those serums and oils, I go with one final moisturizer, and I have three to shout out that I kind of just switch through these at any given time. I could use any of these. So my newest one that I'm actually quite really enjoying is Cetaphil, and on nights where my skin, maybe I overexfoliated or something, this is really nice because it doesn't have any fragrance in it, and it's actually pretty thick cream. I quite enjoy it. Another really nice one, but this one has niacinamide in it, and sometimes if your skin is a little bit irritated, niacinamide can also, it can be a little bit more of a strong ingredient. So sometimes I've had this kind of burn on certain areas if I've overexfoliated. So it's not the problem of this, it's just me pushing my skin too far. This is a really great product. It does, again, have niacinamide in it, which is really nice ingredient. So if you're looking for a product that is like on the more affordable sides that packs a lot of punch ingredient wise, this is one. And then I found this at TJ Maxx for I believe $8. This is another nice product that I've used as a night mask. This is Goodall. I don't really know, the moisture barrier cream. I do know that this product has niacinamide in it, and it smells nice. It does have fragrance in it, but it is the last like ingredient on the fragrance, or it is the last ingredient on the ingredient list. So hopefully it doesn't have that much. But yeah, these three products I use at any given time. And yeah, I just make sure that I spread that all over my face. Let it sink in. It's a lot it feels really thick, so if you're someone who's not used to having feeling like you have product on, you might not like this much product when you go to bed at night, but for me, this is what works for me at night. I kind of want to know that I have a lot on my face because again, it's gonna evaporate off in the middle of the night. Okay, and one final product to talk to you about. If I have like a really stubborn breakout, that's something that I know is like not easily treated, this is a product that I do reach for often. This is the Mario Badescu drying lotion, and it's got this like watery solution and then this pink kind of stuff thick at the bottom. What you do is get a Q-tip, stick it down in there, and it's got like a bunch of different ingredients, like it's got alcohol so it burns, so you don't want to use it on like an open sore. It's got calamine, it's got sulfur, zinc oxide, salicylic acid, things like that. And what you do is get that on your Q-tip and like dot it onto whatever spot you're trying to treat, and then leave it there overnight. And it helps dry out whatever's going on under there. And it really is an effective product, but it's not something I use all the time. It's really only when I desperately need it. And I can't believe I almost forgot to mention this, but I also use a lip sleeping mask at night. Right now I am using the Laneige one, and I do like it. It is thick. It stays on pretty well, but maybe I don't apply enough, but I do wake up in the morning and like it's not there anymore, which I think that's asking a lot out of a lip product. I'm not quite sure how like actually moisturizing it is. I think it might be one of those things that it is definitely thick and therefore holds on the moisture versus it evaporating out of your lips at night. But yeah, it is a nice product. I probably would purchase this again, but sometimes I've used, not Vaseline, but like the Carmex or in Vaseline, and those things can work just as well. So don't ever feel the need to buy like an expensive lip mask for that reason, but it is really nice. I am enjoying it, and it is something that I enjoyed the process of putting it on. It smells nice and that kind of thing. But yeah, I almost forgot to mention this, but I can't forget to mention that I definitely put something on my lips at night. So that is everything for this video. I hope you enjoyed getting unready with me. I'm really curious. Again, let me know in the comments what you think about this routine. I highly suggest that you go check out both Day's channel, obviously, because she's going to show her routine. I'm really curious to see how it differs. Day is a little bit younger than me, and so I'm curious to see like what her skin goals are and how her products that she's chosen have differed, and also what kind of research maybe she's come across that is different than the information that I've absorbed and am spitting back out at you. Again, if you're interested at all in ingredients and that kind of thing, I cannot recommend more that you go also check out HotandFlashy's channel, because she does really thorough research, and in her videos she links, if you're interested in reading actual articles, she links articles and that kind of thing too, which I think is ridiculously good. And just, I can't believe that someone is out there going above and beyond doing that kind of thing, because I'm lazy and I don't do that. But yeah, I still want to know, like I want my cake and I want to eat it too. So yeah, that is everything for today's video. Make sure you say hello in the comments, and I will see you in the next one.